Hello everyone and welcome to the BayNet Weekly News. I'm your host, JJ Atchison, and before we get started, again, I just want to go over, if you want to unlock the rest of the week, that being the BayNet Daily News, that'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, make sure you go ahead and sign up for the BayNet membership. You will get that, plus no ads on the website and improved performance because of that, and you also get a daily newsletter. So if you want to unlock that and so much more, make sure you click the link down below. We'll have a link right to our membership page so you can go on ahead and look at it and see if you want to sign up. But without further ado, we have a lot to go over today, including a White Plains home destroyed by an early morning fire, and a Charles County man is sentenced to life in prison for the first-degree murder of his mother. That and more coming right on up. On December 8th, 2023 at approximately 4:21 a.m., fire and rescue personnel responded to a structure fire in the 4200 block of J.K. Rowling Court. A caller reported multiple houses on fire and heard a loud explosion. Upon arrival, crews discovered a two-story home engulfed in smoke and flames, with the fire spreading through the roof. All occupants of the home were able to safely escape without any injuries. As firefighters initiated their efforts to extinguish the fire, the roof of the house started to collapse, prompting an evacuation for all units. Crews continued to battle the flames from the exterior. By 5 a.m., the fire was successfully extinguished, although firefighters remained on the scene to ensure there were no remaining hotspots in the attic or any potential spread to neighboring homes. SMECO was requested to the scene to secure the power supply in the area. The Office of the State Fire Marshal was notified and requested to the scene to conduct further investigations into the cause of the fire. Tony Covington, state's attorney for Charles County, announced that on Thursday, December 7th, 2023, Charles County Circuit Court Judge H. James West sentenced Brandon Slade, 29, to life in prison for the first-degree murder of Lenora Coates Slade and the wear and carry of a dangerous weapon with intent to injure. Slade was found guilty of the above-mentioned charges on October 2nd, 2023, after a 3-day bench trial. On October 15th, 2020, officers responded to a residence located in Indian Head for the report of an unknown trouble. Upon arrival, officers discovered victim Lenora Coates Slade, Brandon Slade's mother, with multiple stab wounds to her body and a plastic bag wrapped around her head in their garage. Unfortunately, the victim succumbed to her injuries. Officers made contact with a member of the victim's family who also lived in the residence. The family member, who was not present at the time of the assault, reported to officers that she became worried when she was not able to get in touch with the victim. After calling the victim's phone, the family member immediately received a phone call from Slade advising her that the victim was asleep. The family member asked two people to do a welfare check on the victim, then called the police. The family member was able to show officers footage of part of the incident that was captured by the surveillance system on the front porch of the residence. In the video, the suspect, identified by the family member as Brandon Slade, is seen forcefully holding the victim as she tried to break free from him. Blood can be seen on the victim's shirt during the struggle. Slade is seen strangling the victim into what appeared to be unconsciousness. The victim was then dragged inside of the residence. Moments later, Slade reappeared to wash the victim's blood off from the front porch steps. During the investigation, it was revealed that Slade did not live at the residence with his mother. However, he spent the night at the residence on October 14th, 2020, and had breakfast with the victim during the morning hours of October 15th. The two became engaged in an argument during breakfast, and Slade began to assault the victim in the kitchen. The victim was able to escape outside and began to scream, but Slade followed her and strangled her. He ultimately brought her to the home's garage. Another family member of the victim reported that the victim was previously assaulted by Slade in Prince George's County at an earlier date. The assistant state's attorney for this case told the judge during sentencing, "Senseless doesn't even begin to describe this. The conduct that the defendant engaged in is forever etched in our memory." She furthered, "The defendant accepts no responsibility or shows no remorse. As you heard today, the family that you heard from, over and over and over, asking the defendant to get help." Before sentencing Slade to life in prison, Judge West told Slade that the incident was a brutal, mean-spirited, nasty murder. He continued, "The victim was looking out for you and trusted you, pretty close to defenseless when this was happening." On December 5th at 4:20 p.m., officers assigned to the neighborhood enforcement team initiated a traffic stop in the 2200 block of Crane Highway. Upon approaching the vehicle, officers detected a strong odor of cannabis. Further investigation revealed the occupants were in possession of a loaded firearm without a serial number. Jeffrey Allen Fenwick, 18 of Indian Head, and Christopher Jamari Paris, 18 of Washington, D.C., were arrested and charged with the illegal possession of a regulated firearm, possession of a firearm without a serial number, handgun on person, and other related charges. On December 6th, a district court commissioner released Fenwick and Paris from the Charles County Detention Center on an unsecured $5,000 bond. The investigation is continuing. Maryland State Police are investigating a fatal pedestrian crash that occurred early this morning in Prince George's County. The deceased pedestrian is identified as Carrie Sneed, 32 of Virginia. She was pronounced deceased on the scene. One occupant traveling with the victim was uninjured in the crash. A dog traveling with the victim and occupant was also struck in the crash and passed away. The driver of a Hyundai Elantra involved in the crash was transported by ambulance to the University of Maryland Capital Regional Medical Center in Largo, Maryland, for treatment for their injuries. No charges are being filed at this time. Shortly before 3 a.m. this morning, troopers from the Maryland State Police Forestville Barrack responded to the area of Outer Loop Interstate 495 at Allentown Road for a report of a crash involving a pedestrian. According to a preliminary investigation, the victim's vehicle was traveling south on the inner loop of I-495 at Allentown Road when it began to experience a mechanical issue. Sneed, the other occupant, and the dog got out of the vehicle and attempted to cross the outer loop when Sneed and the dog were struck by the Hyundai. The northbound lanes of I-495 at Allentown Boulevard were closed for more than 4 hours following the crash. The Maryland State Police crash team responded to the scene and are leading the investigation. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. A new poll from MDBetting.com shows 75% of Maryland voters would be in favor of legalizing online casino gambling if it makes it on the 2024 ballot. According to a report by the Maryland Lottery and Gaming Control Agency, the state could generate more than $533 million in the first year if online gaming is legalized. Senate Bill 267 would need to be approved by both chambers of the Maryland legislature in order for the question to land on the ballot. Then a simple majority of voters would allow internet gaming to start as early as June 2025. Senator Ron Watson is one of the sponsors of SB 267. He says more money would be dispersed to the Blueprint for Maryland Future, an education reform initiative that aims to address achievement gaps and improvement of opportunities for students in pre-K through middle school. Brick-and-mortar casino revenue goes to the Education Trust Fund and small minority-owned businesses in Maryland and the jurisdictions where the casinos operate. Online casino revenues would likely support the same efforts. Online casino gaming is legal in 6 states, including Connecticut, Delaware, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. Nevada has online poker. Rhode Island has passed an online casino bill, but it won't go live until next March. On Saturday, December 2nd, 2023 at approximately 10:10 a.m., the 2 persons shown in these photos entered the Ulta Beauty Store in California, Maryland. The 2 gathered multiple items and approached the register, giving the appearance of planning to pay for the items. However, after experiencing difficulties with their Google Pay, they gathered everything and left the store in the vehicle shown. While the vehicle's owner is unknown, attempts to establish contact have proven unsuccessful. The St. Mary's County Sheriff's Office is seeking assistance from the public in locating the vehicle and the individuals involved in the theft. Anyone with information about the identities of these individuals or the whereabouts of the pictured vehicle is asked to contact Deputy Raymond Allebach at raymond.allebach, that's ALLEBACH, at stmaryscountymd.gov, or call 301-475-4200, extension 8110. And that's all we got for you today on the BayNet Weekly News. If you want more information on every single article that we covered today, they are all linked either above or down below. Depends on what you're looking at. Anyway, have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you all next week. Or we'll see you every single day starting Monday if you sign up for memberships. Again, that link is in the description as well. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I'll see you next week.